Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to Festival Future Food Marketplace webinar. We will be starting in a minute's time. Thank you, everyone. A warm welcome to our webinar. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Hazel and I'm from the Business and Industry Engagement Team, Global Division 3, Singapore Business Federation, and I will be your MC for today. The festival is part of the program of Global Connect SPF, which is our globalization initiative in partnership with Enterprise Singapore. On this note, I would like to thank our principal partner, Convera, on behalf of SPF for their strong support to the entire festival initiative for the second year. Formerly Western Union Business Solution, Convera is now considered as the largest non-bank B2B cross-border payments company in the world. From a regulatory landscape perspective, there is a fine line between novel food and future food. Novel food technologies encompass sectors such as plant and insect-based food processing, cultivated meat technology, and novel ingredients. Notwithstanding, we would also like to present a local company using traditional flavors and ingredients, but delivering the customer experience in a novel way. In today's webinar, we hope you will be introduced to how different countries explore this future food journey, from differences in ingredients to end products. Just quick housekeeping before we get started. Please take note of the following house rules. The chat function is disabled. You may post your question in the Q&A panel, and we will answer them during the webinar or after the webinar. For today's program, we will have Mr. Lim Renjing to start off with regulatory landscape of future and novel food. Next, we will have Mr. Hiroyuki Hirano, Head of Business Development, Crafts Group. After which, we will have Ms. Angelica Leong, Senior Manager of International Development, Green Monday. Next, we will have Ms. Jenny Teo, Brand and Marketing Manager at Swerve Go, followed by Mr. Yase Krishma, CEO, Green Lane Food. Last but not least, we will have Dr. Peter Hans, CEO, Fiberbao LLC. To start today's session, let me quickly walk you through SPF and our globalization initiative. Global Connect at SPF. Global Connect SPF is an initiative that has been formulated to Singapore companies that are looking to internationalize and deepen their presence in overseas markets. Global Connect SPF helps Singapore company at first learn about the country and the business opportunity it presents through sharing of useful resources such curated market information, advisories on free trade agreement, in short FTA, and structured training through workshops, webinar. Second, to land business deals and investment projects through B2B matching. Facilitate market and business development through identifying the right market for businesses and assessing the business capability. We currently have 3 SPF overseas offices called Singapore Enterprise Centre, in short SEC, set up in Jakarta, Ho Chi Minh City, and Bangkok to provide on-the-ground facilitation and in-market assistance. Lastly, we assist Singapore companies to set up a viable business presence in those markets to help grow and integrate with local networks and strengthen their presence. Next, our first speaker will be Mr. Ling Renjun, Principal in Baker McKenzie. Renjun represents local and international intellectual property intensive clients. Mr. Ling, please.
Thank you, Hazel. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for taking time out to join us today. My name is Renjun. I'm a lawyer, and I am presently a partner from our IP Tech Practice Group in Baker McKenzie. I also co-lead our firm's healthcare and life sciences industry group and our consumer goods and retail industry group. So what we really do is we do the full spectrum of IP and technology-related issues, as well as regulatory and compliance issues for different companies, including food tech companies. And today we will be exploring the future food marketplace. Whilst this is still a fairly new or nascent industry in Singapore, I think you see shifting consumer trends to healthier food products and alternative proteins. And what this means is that I believe this is an industry that has huge potential to grow and to transform Singapore's F&B landscape. Next slide, please. So this is what I aim to cover today in 10 minutes. I will take you through these 4 issues on a high-level basis. First, I will briefly consider the agri-food scene in Singapore, including trends as well as recent innovative urban food solutions. Next, I will bring you through the regulations for future food products, in particular novel food products. I'll then touch on some relevant intellectual property considerations, and finally finish off with some case studies. Next, please. Trends in urban food solutions. While natural food resources, I think we all know we don't have that much resources in Singapore. Nonetheless, Singapore is still at the forefront of developing technologies and expanding our urban food systems. Singapore aims to be the agri-food hub in Asia, and there are 3 main pillars of innovation. First, the availability of talent. Second, the availability of networks. And thirdly, enabling innovation, for example, through having strong safeguards for intellectual property. And these are strong pull factors for businesses to invest in R&D in future food products in Singapore. But what are future food products? There are various trends that have emerged in the agri-food industry. You have vertical farming for urban farms. You also have novel food products. And today, in the interest of time, I'll be focusing on novel food products. So what is a novel food product? And you can see on the right side of the slides, The Singapore Food Agency has defined novel food products as foods and food ingredients that have not been consumed as part of the diet by a significant human population for at least 20 years without reported adverse effects on human health. So in short, we have to look at when the novel food product was first introduced and whether it has been 20 years since. Again, on the right side of the slides, you can see 3 examples of alternative proteins that are considered novel food products. The difference lies in the origin of their protein source, and this includes the impossible beef patties that you can find in Singapore and overseas. Next. So bearing in mind the definition of novel foods, we will now look at some of the applicable regulatory requirements related to novel foods. Food products, as I mentioned, they are generally regulated by the Singapore Food Agency or the SFA. And under our laws, the applicable regulations will include Sale of Food Act and the food regulations. The Sale of Food Act also prescribes general guidance for importers and sellers of food products. And in addition to these general regulations, SFA has also released specific guidelines for the safety assessment of novel foods and novel food ingredients. And this shows that the SFA is looking to add certainty to the industry. And this will help facilitate the manufacture, import, and sale of novel food products in Singapore. So on this slide, you can see some requirements for novel food products. And what we do, as I mentioned, is we regularly advise and assist our clients on these areas when novel food companies are interested to enter the Singapore market. And in the interest of time, I will just briefly raise these points. In general, to produce, manufacture, import, distribute, and sell novel foods in Singapore, companies will need pre-marketing regulatory approval from the SFA. The novel food product must also meet the specifications and be produced in accordance with the manufacturing process declared in the safety assessment submitted to the SFA. Companies must always ensure that novel food products are used in the food categories specified in the pre-market regulatory approval that has been obtained. And they must also adhere to other relevant laws, such as the Sale of Food Act, as I mentioned. Quite apart from obtaining pre-marketing approval, licenses or registrations may also be required for the import as well as export of novel food products. You also have requirements in relation to packaging and labeling. Next. Next slide, please. So apart from the food regulatory considerations, there are other legal considerations that companies should consider when dealing in future food products. So I'll be talking about IP considerations. So here you can see the few main types of intellectual property rights. I will deal with them in a clockwise manner, starting from the top, patents. So patents are a means to protect inventions. They cover products and processes. They have to be new and inventive, and the protection lasts for 20 years. So we have examples of companies that have created processes to make novel food products, and they have applied for patent protection. Next is trademarks. So trademarks essentially help you to protect your brand. For example, Impossible Foods is a registered trademark in Singapore. Trademark protection can last forever as long as they are renewed. So you got to pay renewal fees. And once you have a trademark registration, you can go after people. If, let's say, a competitor tries to use a confusingly similar name. Next is registered designs. So they will offer protection over, let's say, your product packaging. And then we have copyright, which protects creative works. And this includes artistic works such as your logos or your literary works like your product literature or your source codes in computer software. And finally, trade secrets, they protect confidential information. So this usually arises where you have contractual arrangements between a company and its employees, or let's say between companies and third-party contractors and consultants. Some IP rights are registrable, such as patents, trademarks, and registered designs. There are others that need not require registration, such as copyright in most countries. And depending on the budget and business needs, I think businesses, they will try to mix and match different types and forms of IP registration to protect their key assets. Another thing to note is that IP rights are territorial in nature. So you don't have protection in country B if you only register in country A. In any case, whether IP is registrable or not, I think companies should impose contractual provisions with its employees and contractors, because this will help to define who owns the IP and whether the third parties, or if let's say you have a collaboration and you have two companies putting in IP together, but new IP is being generated. So the contract should also deal with the scenario of future intellectual property rights. Finally, please note that the timing of product launches is quite critical to IP protection. So if you launch your product without considering IP protection, for example, if you want to apply for a patent and you disclose the invention before you even apply for a patent, this will destroy the novelty of the product and may result in you not being able to file for a patent. Trademarks is a first to file regime. So if someone files before you do so, you will be in trouble. Next slide, please. So finally, some case studies. In Singapore, we have seen increasing novel food and alternative protein products being served in restaurants and grocery stores. I think this ranges from, let's say, your impossible meat, plant-based proteins, cell-cultured meat products, and so on. So companies will have to prioritize safety through using safe methods and safe ingredients. There have been cases, especially in the EU, where ingredients had their marketing authorizations revoked. And in Singapore, the SFA generally takes a cautious approach, and they will observe the approach that is taken by overseas regulators. On IP protection, I think I've seen companies who are uncertain of how to protect and monetize IP in food tech businesses. So we have been helping a lot of these companies protect their IP and maximizing the potential of their IP. Usually this takes place through an audit. The audit is a deep dive. It helps to determine the strength of the company's IP and also to see where the weaknesses are. Thereafter, we will try to plug the gaps and suggest, let's say, contractual safeguards or IP registration. If your company has operations in other countries or you're thinking to expand your regional footprint, there could be cross-border IP or tax-related considerations. The Singapore government is actively promoting our country as a global IP hub. So if you house your IP across different countries in Singapore, you can potentially avail yourself to tax incentives and benefits. I guess just to sum up, the strategy is really to see IP assets as very valuable assets. It's just like your plant and machinery. In fact, it could also be more powerful than your plant and machinery. And when you have proper protection, you can then enhance the value of your IP and in turn, the value of your company. Next. So we've come to the end of the session. As Hazel mentioned, if you have any questions, you can send through the Q&A or you can raise them subsequently. Back to you, Hazel.
Thank you, Mr. Lim, for the insightful sharing. Our second speaker is Mr. Hiroyuki Hirano, Head of Business Development, Crafts Group. He has deep knowledge of business development in Asia and through his experience in environmental care industry. Mr. Hirano, please.
Hazel, thank you very much. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hirano. Let me try to start my slide. Okay. Today I just trying to explain that what we're doing. Crust Group is founded in Singapore in 2019, and then we are the food tech startup valorizing the surplus ingredients into the unique beverages for food services and retail partners. We carry on some of the mission like empower the business food services to reduce in the global food losses by 1% by 2030. A lot of people are talking about what is a food waste and food losses. They have some kind of the fun fact that in the 40% of the other foods into the hotel is going to be the wasted. And sometimes a lot of the other, around the other 20 to 30% of the other food provided in the food service and the retail services is also getting wasted. So we just trying to tackle on these huge, gigantic issues in the global way. We're gonna try to find it out what we can do with our own ideas. We already established in the Japan entities in 2021. And then the Taiwan subsidiary office will be established in the Q3 to Q4 this year. What we produce, this is what we can provide into the market. We using some of the food surplus from the bread companies to make it part of the ingredients to making a beer. And then recently we developed the new products. It is the more to the sustainable the branding and non-alcoholic beverages using the fruits peel and also the fruit husk. Its name is called Club. Since last 3 years, we saved over the 2.5 tons of the food losses, and then a total CO2 reduction is nearly 4 tons. Total production, including everything together, is over 42,000 liters. Okay. So we are working with the partnership with the each categories. It is including a food supplier and then contracted brewery, and then we can provide in our final products to the retail services and F&B and hotels. The reason why we mention about the food supplier and the contracted brewery is our partners. Because like I mentioned that the food losses and the food waste, a lot of people gonna mix it up. We are targeting on the food supplier have some food loss when they do the process. A lot of people think that, oh, upcycling the food losses is a part of the food waste. No, food waste is more to the some the items discarded into the final process into the food chains. But we are working with these food suppliers who using some of the surpluses to making their own products, such as the Gardenia is a part of the biggest bread companies. And right in the antidote is that they trying to make in a juice. So we working with them to get this supply from them and then trying to reduce in all these other kind of the waste from there. As I mentioned that we are a sustainable brand. So we're gonna try to target in on the hyper-local model, which is trying to producing this sustainable upcycle product beverages into the place where the surplus is coming from. So in Singapore, we're working with the other two companies in here and producing the beer locally. In Japan, we also trying to engaging with some of the contracted brewery and then trying to making our beer under our recipes. Our client is including Marina Bay Sands, Ritz-Carlton, Amman Tokyo. All these big brand name is happily appreciated about flavor. So we are quite confident about what we do. Our product is as you can see that they have a few different kind of the models, which is a lot of people understand that craft beer is so many different kind of the flavors. And then our mission is we doing the upcycle all these beverages, but we don't compromise in the flavors. This is our mission, and then a lot of people liking our beer and follow up with our brand. It's because of the we are focusing on these kind of the flavors. We have a few different kind of the business models. Of course, we providing our own brand, but also we can try to giving our products under their co-branding of their customers' brand, such as the Food Panda want to trying to producing as the sustainable brand beer with corporate with us, and Aman Tokyo also using our brand and then under their brand. The last two is the sustainable unique label and the special project. It is we can trying to making the brand and the flavor from scratch. So we just are trying to making a new flavor hand to hand and trying to develop it together with the food supplier and also the retailers. Our brand is now trying to have a good recognition in all over the world. Recently, we got the certificate from the big corporation as the 20th the big corp companies in Singapore market. And then the World 50 organization also appointed us as the winner, one of the winner of the 50 next the entrepreneur creatives. They have 3 companies already awarded in this the particular award, and then our founder Mr. Travin is a fly down to the Spain to join this opportunity to get award. And then our the brand also trying to participate a lot of the local brand the local event and also the exhibition such as the Food Rescue Valorization Award. It is done by the Singapore government together, and then we also join with this kind of the other event, and then how we can tackle with this food waste. Our journey is trying to reduce the global food loss 1% by the 2030s. If you have some question or any interest, please let us know, and then we are more than happy to trying to working together with this sustainable journeys. Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you, Hinano-san. Next, we will conduct a poll to explore your interest on questions relating to financial grants to take your business overseas, and at which stage of internationalization is your company currently at. Our third speaker is Ms. Angelica Leong, a Senior Manager of International Development at Green Monday. Ms. Leong, please.
Thank you, Hazel. Thank you for having me today. Hi, I'm Angelica. So I'm from the Green Monday group, and today I will bring and talk about a little bit more on our own future food innovation, which is under the brand called Only. I would like to start the presentation with a video, so enjoy.
Pork is made from soy, rice, mushroom, and pea proteins.
A global movement away from meat toward.
We need alternative.
In June 2021, it announced expansions into a new market.
Right. So we are a plant-based brand that started in 2018. We have then introduced the product and opened an office in Singapore. Our innovation is actually R&D from Canada. And we produce it in Southeast Asia to decrease the amount of footprints that throughout transportation. And why only? A lot of chefs actually ask us about these questions. And usually we give them like a little bit of a view of like, if you have a wider range of like provide a one or even two or more plant-based option in your menu, using plant-based meat to subsidize with your real protein, then you will naturally attract like a bigger customer demographic, for example, vegan, vegetarian, and most of all, actually the flexitarian, which is like a rising population right now. Our product has been awarded in various of like awards, for example, the Great Taste Award from the UK, as well as some of the product, the seafood range, Golden Fillet, which I will get into it in a little bit, have awarded the Monday Awards just earlier on this year. Our product, we're actually very proud of the quality. We use non-GMO soy in our formulations. We are also very proud that we actually provide a relatively clean label compared to other plant-based products in the market as well. At the moment, our only product is produced out of Thailand. And early on this year, we have just opened up a new manufacturing plant in China as well to dedicate and take care of the demands that we are trading to right now. So going into a little bit more of the product level. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is the top, is the first 3 products that we launched we call it the meat range. So which is the mince, which is a more like kind of mince meat that you buy from a local market. It's more versatile. Chef will be able to use their own seasoning to mold it into different shapes and cook it in different methods as well. We can pan fry, we can boil it, we can like oven bake it. So it's really versatile. And we designed this product because in the Asian culture, we very much like to use like minced meat in a lot of our cuisines. And then later on, a year later, we launched a luncheon product. So this is our founder's favorite, the luncheon. So in Hong Kong or even in Singapore, a lot of like Hong Kong diners actually use a lot of luncheon meat in their recipes. So we have replicate one that is 100% plant-based and in way much healthier nutrition in terms of nutritional value. And then we have a strip, which is mimicking like a hand cut like meat strip, very similar to a pulled pork. So inside of our range, every product is 100% plant-based, vegan certified. It's cruelty-free, non-GMO, non-added hormones, of course, because it's not come from animal, 100% from plants. Also, it's Buddhist-friendly and halal certified as well. Early on this year, into early 2022, we have launched a new range, a seafood range. So when you look into the plant-based meat sector, everyone is trying to do a replicate of meat. It's either like a burger patty or like a sausage or like a chicken nugget, chicken burger, etc. But seafood is something that like it's not been really open up. So we're very proud that we're one of the very early players in the seafood range markets. Just early on this year, we have launched the Golden Fillet, classic fillet. Golden Fillet is trying to mimic the fish and chips, kind of like batter fish. We have the ocean finger, which is a fish finger, very nice. Omni tuna, a tuna in a can, also in a pouch as well, ocean burger, and a crab cake as well. So earlier on, like all the products that I have like introduced, they are very home cook or like restaurant use based. So for like lifestyle, like in Singapore or in Hong Kong, or even like in US and UK, people love ready to eat foods, like things that like they want to go home, put it in an oven or a microwave, reheat and ready to eat. So we have also created like a range of like different ready to eat meal box that represent different kinds of cuisines. Right now, our innovation is mostly Asian cuisines, and then we're also like gonna launch something that is more catered to the Western palate as well. On top of that, we also provide like ingredients to other manufacturers, other brands as well, providing a solutions like an ingredient for them to, you know, substitute like the real protein that they usually put it in their product. So for example, Amoy or Wan Chai Ferry from General Mills, they have used our minced product in their dim sum or dumpling fillings. We have also partnered with 7-Eleven Family Marts to launch their ready-to-eat kind of products on the chill aisles as well, ready-to-eat aisles. Right now, our product has been sold through 20 regions in the world. In 2022, we have been rapidly grow in the US and UK. So these are the two most concentrated markets that we're working on. And we're very proud. In the very beginning, we work with a lot of like independent restaurants, hotels that like those kitchen that has like the capacity or even like the space or equipment to actually cook and prepare our product. But now our product, we have designed them to be like in a better use, can be used in like quick service restaurant as well, or even big chains. So just sharing some example that we launched with McDonald's Hong Kong. They use our luncheon meat in some of their breakfast item with muffins and with big breakfast as well. The recent launch is with our tuna. They made a sandwich pizza and a tuna bake with it. And after the launch in Hong Kong, the offer has been extended to China as well. So China has launched breakfast kind of range using the luncheon as well. Starbucks is a very close partner with us. We have been working with Starbucks in Singapore, Philippines, Hong Kong, China. And in recent 1 year, we have been working very closely with like bakeries, so providing the ingredient to help them to do vegan bakeries without the egg and dairy. So just highlight in some of the launches that we have in different markets. In the US, we launched it in Whole Foods Sprouts and a lot of like very iconic restaurants. In the UK, for the golden fillet, we have launched with Wagamama in just this January. So that was a very, very iconic launch with a fish and chips kind of platter. Australia, we're in like most of the Woolworths, selected Woolworths at the moment. Singapore, if you walk into some of the mainstream retails like NTUC or Dairy Farms, we are already in those chains. Japan, we are very fortunate to launch 2 items, which is the mince and the tuna in Japan at the moment. Thailand is actually our manufacturing base, so we do have a lot of partners in Thailand. And here are some of the global media coverages that we have been mentioned and featured in. So we come to the end of the presentations. So if you have any questions, you can either contact me directly on the email on the screen, or you can comment on the comment box. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Leong, for the information sharing. If you would like to connect with any our speaker after this webinar, please indicate yes on the poll, which will be flashed at the end of the webinar. Our fourth speaker is Jerlyn Teo, the Brand and Marketing Manager of Avinti Innovational. Avinti is an institutional-backed company with presence in Singapore, Korea, and Taiwan. Mr. Please.
Hi everyone, I'm Janine, and today I'll be sharing with you more about our company, Advantier Innovations, and our flagship product, which is called Swirl. So we all know that Singaporeans love food, especially freshly churned desserts like soft serves. So places like McDonald's and IKEA actually sell hundreds and thousands of soft serves every day. And if everyone loves freshly churned desserts, why don't more places sell soft serves? So some reasons are that conventional soft serve machines are limited to 1 to 2 flavors only. And this is why, McDonald's usually only have vanilla, a seasonal flavor, and a twist, which is like a combination of vanilla and the seasonal flavor. So second reason is that conventional soft serve machine is very expensive. So smaller cafes, restaurants, or hotels, they are unable to sell enough to make up for the high capex. And lastly, conventional soft serve machine is also has like a tedious process to prepare the premix and to clean and wash the machine every now and then. So we tried to tackle all this issue that customers face. So we tackle this with our flagship product called Swirl, which is a capsule-based soft serve machine that dispenses soft serve from capsules. It works like similar to a coffee capsule machine. So if you have used like a coffee capsule machine before, you can definitely operate our machine easily. Our machine is much cheaper than conventional machines. It's about 50% lower in price. It is also more compact, so it can fit on most countertops. And since our soft serve is dispensed using our capsules, there's no premix and there's no food contact at all, which eliminates the need for any washing or cleaning. And so with just one machine, we are able to create different forms of desserts like soft serve, frozen yogurt, milkshakes, and smoothie, etc. And also like a variety of flavors. So our customers are not limited to just 1 or 2 soft serve flavors. And lastly, our machine is also a smart device that can be connected to inventory management and sales tracking software, which allows our customers to track their sales and their stocks efficiently. So now I'll show you a video of how it works. And this video is also on our website. So if you want to take a look, you can take a look on our website as well. Okay, so over a period of like 1 year, we launched in several restaurants, hotels, and offices in Singapore, like RMBT, PayPal, and Fairmont Hotel. And this is our machine placed in City Developments Limited, their office pantry. So at CDL, this is an interesting case because we paired our machine with a self-vending capsule freezer. So all their staff will have to do is to retrieve the pot from the freezer, and then the freezer will track what was being removed, and then they will just have to tap their credit cards on the screen to pay. So this means that our machine is able to cater to the self-service model as well. And this is our machine at Fullerton Hotel. And we also hosted functions and events at IMDA with the ministers. Yep. And this is the end of my short presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions in the Q&A chat.
Thank you, Ms. Teo. Next, our fifth speaker will be Jacek Krasma, CEO of Green Lane Food SE. Green Lane Foods operate in the food tech industry and focuses on the nutritional and health promotion values of hemp. Mr. Krasma, please.
Hello, yes. Thank you very much. My name is Jacek Kramasz. I'm the founder and CEO of Green Lane Foods. Thank you for having me, and it is my pleasure today to present to you Hempit brand. It's a brand that we developed in Poland, and this is a meat alternative or meat substitute, plant-based meat made from hemp. Today it is addressed mainly to the food services industry, so mainly we are selling to restaurants and hotels. Today I would like to present this product. So starting from the basics, so from the very beginning, we see a huge, let's say, global need for the change of the way we consume as a society. What you can see on the screen, these are the data from the United Nations organization, which present the global use of agricultural land. So we can see that today 77% of agricultural land that we globally have for our disposal is used for the production of meat and dairy products, which supply only 18% of the global calorie source. At the same time, the 23% of global agricultural land available for the global society is used for the production of plants and vegetable foods, and this supplies 82% of the global calorie needs. If we look at the Western diet, and we put it even in a bigger perspective, then we can calculate that to feed one person with a standard Western diet, we would need 2 football fields. And at the same time, if the same area was dedicated to the plant production or plant-based foods, the same area of land could feed up to 14 people. The carbon footprint of a meat lover is almost twice as high as a carbon footprint of the vegetarian. So if we're looking at the global issues that we are dealing with, meaning growing population and the climate challenges, we see that there is no alternative to change the way we consume as a global society, more towards plant-based products. And we have developed a plant-based meat alternative using hemp, because hemp is the most ecological plant available. It can grow in almost any geographic. It sequesters large amounts of CO2. So it's really, from the perspective of the nutrition and from the perspective of the ecology, it's one of the best sources of plant-based protein. And we have developed products that have the structure and the taste very similar to meat. So the consumers that would use our product, they do not have to compromise on the taste and on other, let's say, they can have the same quality dishes using a plant-based ingredient. The hemp itself is a superfood. It contains all essential amino acids. Hemp is hypoallergenic, so there are no food allergies associated with consuming hemp and hemp protein. Hemp seeds are rich in vitamin B, they are rich in magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, copper, omega-3 and 6 fatty acids. So hemp really is a superfood, and it contains large amounts of protein. Therefore, the products made with hemp are all very nutritious and very healthy. At the same time, for the manufacturing of plant-based meats, hemp possesses a lot of technological properties that gives it a benefit. It's easy to recreate the fibrous structure of meat using hemp protein. So it emulsifies well, has neutral taste. So we are able to reach a product that has a very, very similar structure and feel in the mouth, the same as meat, and very, very similar taste, and it's due to the technological properties of hemp as well. Currently, we have launched 3 products. We have plant-based pulled pork substitute that we are already delivering to restaurants in Poland. We also have plant-based beef burger patties, as well as plant-based minced beef. The product is very easy to prepare in the kitchen, both at home and in the restaurant. Hemp product, or our product, needs only 2 to 5 minutes of heat to be ready to serve. It can be used on different kitchen devices, so can be cooked at the grill, can be cooked on the convection oven. The products are already prepared and portioned for the restaurants to use on a daily basis. And we have the zero waste policy, so there is very little excess waste material that comes with the product. Here are just examples of products made with hemp meat. So you can see the juiciness, you can see the structure. It is really tasty, and we are collecting very good consumer feedback on our product. And that's it. We are looking for partners internationally, so I would be happy to connect with anyone who would be interested in our products. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Krasma, for the insightful sharing. Our last speaker will be Dr. Peter Hans, founder of FiberWow LLC. FiberWow is an oriented startup transforming yesterday's idea into the product of tomorrow. Dr. Hans, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Peter Hans. I am the leader of our startup company, FiberWow LLC, and I will present to you about our high-fiber, low-sugar snack called FiberWow that is made up of upcycled pomace. So why do you need to eat more fiber and pomace? The European population consumes only about 50% of the recommended daily fiber. And this is the reason why a series of diseases like obesity and diabetes reached almost epidemic dimensions in the developed world. It is very paradoxical that in the meantime, we discard the pomace that is generated when we manufacture fruit juices and vegetable oils. So our solution is to upcycle this lost pomace that now is used as a fertilizer, or it's given to the animals, or it's simply discarded, in order to manufacture high fiber and low sugar bars that could help a lot our gut microbiome. When I looked first time on this world diabetes map, I was really shocked. Like, for example, in Saudi Arabia, about 25% of the people are diabetic. This means that about half of them are pre-diabetic. And in United States and almost in entire Europe and in other countries, the percentage of the pre-diabetic and diabetic people is dramatically high and dramatically growing. What do we offer for our customers that could be pre-diabetic, diabetic people, obese people, or simply health-conscious people? We offer a product that is very beneficial for the gut microbiome, for the gut peristaltis, and one pack of our product covers already half of the RDA of fibers. We are going to sell our products through health food shops mainly, but also through pharmacies and different events. And it's even more important that it works to make local manufacturer points to use the local wasted food. Because, for example, in Europe, it's wasted a lot of apple pomace, but in Asia, maybe it's wasted a lot of pineapple or jackfruit pomace. And I would like to emphasize that the benefits of the pomace are scientifically proven. This is a society level problem. If you go in a shop or in a food store or in a gasoline shop, you will see shelves and shelves full with sugar-rich, unhealthy foods that maybe are healthy for the children who are moving a lot or for sporters, but not for an average person. We would like to change this very bad practice slowly and slowly. What is the stage of the development of our product? We finalized the product development. Now the analytical and medical analysis are ongoing. We measured yesterday the glycemic index that is dramatically low. It's below 10. And we are planning to make the first sales this month. And of course, we don't discard the juices. We made a natural energy drink out of the juices we press out. It's called Ju tea, and is enriched by an extract of tea and guarana. And that's why it has a caffeine content. Just a couple of words about our development and production. Here are some pictures. I would like to emphasize that the development was a very long process. Took about 1.5 years. We needed to use a lot of colloid science, a lot of molecular gastronomy. We had a cycle that we investigated the texture of our products with a series of different devices. And we put a big emphasis on the food security, like we regularly check the pH of the juices in order to keep them at a low level, not to let bacteria to proliferate. Of course, there are on the market a lot of fiber suppliers, but most of them have a pretty high sugar content or a low fiber content, or they are something like a pill or the powder that is not tasty. But we offer a tasty product that is a high fiber and low sugar content. The potential is huge because hundreds of thousands of tons of pomace are wasted only in the European Union. And one of our ingredients is hemp seed that is also wasted, the hemp pomace, in very big quantities after the oil is being pressed. Our plans are to implement an organic growth, and we are also looking for partners which could implement local versions of the Fiber Via or Fiber Bio. We have both brands protected, because as I mentioned, probably different fruits and vegetables are wasted in Asia and different ones in United States and in Europe. For every new product, we would need about a half year, 1 year research and development to optimize the taste and the texture and the condiments, and then we can put it on the market. But I'm pretty much convinced that it doesn't work to take to Singapore products manufactured, say, in United States. It's much better to manufacture them locally in Singapore. We developed our products with the help of European and national grants, and we also won several awards, like the upcycling products awards of the World Food Innovation Awards. Here is our team. We also are very proud that we have an Asian worker, Hafuong Leti, and we have a lot of academic and institutional advisors. And a couple of words of our research and development activity, because we are an R&D company. Now we are working on scaling up the biofiber bioproduction. We have a world novelty. We extracted first time the very tasty, very rich, very aromatic part of the bee pollens, and we manufactured a lot of products out of bee pollens. We work with molecular gastronomy, and we also intend to manufacture food for astronauts. And just as a digression, I'm one of the leaders of the International Kürtös Trade Federation. Kürtös is a traditional Hungarian sweet that gains more and more popularity in Asia. Here are a couple of interesting scientific facts about the beneficial effects of the gut bacteria and their effect of diabetes. And I think that I don't really want to enter in medical details. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to answer your questions either in private, or you can also write me through this forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hans. So now, if you would like to connect with any of our speaker, please indicate yes on the poll. If you are interested in a one-to-one business consultation with us, simply email to ie@sbf.org.sg. We will be happy to meet you to offer a consultation session. We have come to the end of today's session. We hope that this webinar has provided information and inspired your organization. There will be an upcoming festival on Bangladesh. If you are interested, please scan the QR code provided on the slide to register or contact us for more information. The Singapore Business Federation is proud to be a supporting organization for the upcoming Agri-Food Tech Expo Asia 2022. The region premier B2B event on agri-food related industry held from 26 to 28 October at SENS Expo at Convention. Scan the QR code to find out more about the event and pre-register your attendance. We would appreciate it if you could give us your feedback on today's webinar. Your feedback is valuable to us. It will help us to improve our future webinars. Kindly scan the QR code on the screen to access the feedback form. On behalf of the Singapore Business Federation, we would like to thank everyone for making this event a success. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you again. Bye-bye.